Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. Greeting from my home. Okay, let's do a greeting from the other universe, the alternate universe. Hello, dear enemies. Such an ugly, ugly evening. Okay, so let's continue with this story, the Lord of Nile, the Lord of the Nile, Egyptian mythology. Yesterday we talked about sorry. So yesterday last time we talked about Nile's. In Egypt, the lifeline comes from Nile, because Nile, every year there is a flood, and that flood and the rich soil brought through the flood is the lifeline. It grows very good wheat. I think Egypt is some of the wheat, some of the agricultural, the original place of a lot of crops and agricultural development. So the flood is the most important lifeline of the people in Egypt. The flood of the Nile River. And the land of Egypt used to be, at the beginning of time, was controlled by gods. And the last god is Horus. He thought, wow, under my control, I'm a god. Under my control, people live happily. I do not need to stay there forever. Now I need to give up my right. I'm old. He's not old. But we know there are people who are old and still control, and that is not right. Anyway, so he thought, well, people are living good. Maybe I will transfer the ruling power to a mortal people. So he transferred his power to ruling people, and he went to heaven. And he gave to the power to a very kind, good king, or a good pharaoh. And this pharaoh, his name is Zoser, Zoser. Zoser controlled the country fair, square, nice, and just. Is good one. And for 18 years, always good. But something went wrong. At the end of 18th year, Nile River stopped having flood, because every year the flood come, it means plants can grow and life can come back. But at the end of 18th year, no flood. Then no plant can grow. And 1 year it didn't come back water, no flood. Not enough. 2 years. And kept on. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Egyptian magic number 7. For 7 years there was no flood. So Zoser was very worried, and not only he was worried, it's mostly because the people were suffering, right? Because the poor and unprivileged people, the old people, the sick people got robbed by the rich people, by the strong people, by the young people. The country does not have any moral standard, no rule. So, and people, not only people fighting each other, and people start to rebel, kind of. They went to Zoser, the Pharaoh's house, the human Pharaoh or the mortal Pharaoh's house, and said, what are you doing? You should take care of us, and you are the most powerful, and you are the ruler, and you do not care about us. Why do we have you as a ruler? So Zoser, the Pharaoh, was very worried, and he, by himself, he saw he was a good Pharaoh. So he think and think, thinking emoji, thinking hard, and he was sitting there like rodents, the thinker, le penseur. Il boude, il reste assis, il pense, il pense, il pense. 他想啊想啊想啊. He was just there thinking, and bling, aha moment. There was, he thought about one wisest person, and that person is Imhotep. 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 Imhotep is a wise person, educated person, known person, experienced person, and above all, he's a very good architect. I mean, he's a builder, he's a designer, he's one for all. Yeah. So, Zoser, the Pharaoh, asked Imhotep, what can I do? Yeah, I am in trouble. You need to help me because you are the best in the world. And Imhotep said, the architect or the wise person said, give me a couple of days. I will look for the reason. So he went out. A few days he came back. Ooh, now I got. You know, all this comes from the source of all these problems. All these problems come from the very source, very root of it is the source of the river Nile, the god of river Nile. And the god of river Nile, the river Nile starts from Abu, from a place where it was a highland, dry land, and starting from there, rivers start to come out. And we need to go there to ask the Lord of the Nile, to ask the Lord. He decides. You say no news, no help, doesn't work. And I say doesn't work at all. Whatever we say doesn't work. We need to go to the head of Nile, the leader of Nile, the god of Nile, the Lord of Nile. We need to go there. So now today's story. So Zoser thought, okay, for the people, for my land, for my power, for whatever reason, I need to go there. So he took a big, huge barge, royal barge, a big, huge royal boat, bigger than Vasa. Yeah, the Stockholm, Vasa, the Stockholm, the Swedish boat, the Vasa. The other day I talked about Vasa, right? So he took a big, huge boat and went to Abu. That's the place where the Lord of Nile lives. So they went there, and he was surprised. So Zoser, the Pharaoh, sailed on the royal barge for many days towards the midday sun. At last, he came to Abu. He went to the very beginning of the Nile River, the birthplace of Nile and entered the temple of Khnum. Khnum is the name of the Lord of Nile. And the Lord of Nile, he has a name. His name is Khnum, which was, he went to enter into the temple of Khnum, enter into the temple of the Lord of Nile. To my surprise, not only to my surprise, to Zor's surprise, to everyone's surprise, the temple was a humble wooden building with a door made of reeds, made of grasses, made of papyrus, made of something that does not last forever, and a roof of the branches of tree. And the roof is not cement, it's not stone, it's not mineral, it's just some wood branch. Those are bowed before the shrine and piled offerings on the altar of the Lord of the Nile, Khnum. So he was living in a very humble, not luxury house. And at that time, simplicity was not really so much appreciated. And he was living in that condition. Must be some reason. Yeah. So Zorzer, the pharaoh, brought all his offerings. His offerings has bread cakes, madeleine, macaron, 鸡蛋糕, and nothing but bun cake and pumpkin pie. Anyway, you name it. Bread cake, beer, geese, leg of oxen, and all the things that can please the god. He brought all the offerings. Suddenly, in the darkness of the shrine, a majestic figure with the head of a ram, R-A-M, yeah, like a sheep, like goat ram. And the golden ram is a very mystic figure. In Greek mythology, there was also about the golden ram, right? The ram. Yeah, there was a figure, majestic figure came out with a head of a ram with widespread horns, long big horns appeared before him. This being, this majestic figure, addressed him sternly. I am Khnum. He is the Lord of Nile. Yeah. I am Khnum, the maker who knitted your body together and give you a heart. Wow, so powerful. Knitted your body together and give you a heart. I am Nu of the great waters. Nu was the original primordial god in Egyptian mythology, kind of like Gaia, that level of hierarchy. Okay, yeah, I am Nu of the great water, who was in being at the beginning of time, when there is nothing, when there is before the Big Bang. I am here. I am the Nu of the great water. I am the Lord of the Nile. When I drew back the bolts of the cavern door and strike the earth with my sandals, So if I make an action, if I do something, the flood pours out upon the land, and the people of Egypt are fed and rejoice. So I am just so powerful. When I stomp my feet, when I walk around, I can pull out the water. I can get Niles flood with the most powerful flood and bring in the best life for the people. So then Zorder asked, Lord of the Nile, the Pharaoh asked, Lord of the Nile, how has your servant offended you, that for 7 years you have not sent the flood? Did your servant do anything wrong, that for 7 years you didn't take any action? So here Khnum, the Lord of Nile, said, why does Pharaoh build for himself an everlasting home of stone, so splendid that the like of it has never been on earth before, so splendid that nobody has never ever built something more splendid? And how can the Pharaoh build so beautiful, everlasting home, and yet neglect the gods? My temple. So, the mortal people, you build something so beautiful and not building something for God, you think I will be happy? You can think twice or 3 times. Yeah. My temple stands on banks of granite, which is called the stone of Abu. And here are gold, silver, copper, lapis lazuli, crystal, and alabaster. So I have the most beautiful, precious minerals. I will tell you about the alabaster's story, okay? Should these things lie untouched in the ground while the temple of Khnum is merely a little hut of reed? So when I have all the most beautiful, precious materials, but my temple is just a little house of reed, restore to the gods the honor that is their due, and the Nile will rise again. If you keep on letting me live in this humble little reed house, do you think I will be happy? Do you think I will serve you? The Lord of God Khnum. I mean, that's his underwords did not speak it out. Yeah, you get the idea. So you see, your people have so beautiful temples, and give me such a temporary house. You think I will be happy? Yeah. Okay. Zoser, the Pharaoh. Aha, now I get it. Now I know. It shall be done. This too shall pass. Anyway, this it shall be done. So in Hotep, the wise person, the designer, the architecture, the creator, the designer, the artist, made a temple for Khnum, for the god of Niles, that outshone all others in the land. He made the most beautiful, splendid, gracious, gigantic, and everlasting. I'm running short of words, okay? You just add on stash, stash, lash, lash, slash, 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 slash. You add on all the good words. Write it down. I need to learn some new words, okay? He made the most beautiful temple. Sorry, I only have the word beautiful. He made the most gracious temple. Yeah, and better than any single one in the whole wide world. And its shrines were filled with statues of gold and silver, and its walls were of malachite and lapis lazuli, and the Pharaoh decreed that the harvest of the land for many leagues to the north and south of it should belong to the temple of Khnum forever. So the Pharaoh decided the harvest, not for you, not for me, not for anybody. This harvest goes to the temple of the Lord of Nile. Yeah, we need to be humble to contribute. Yeah, we need to give our offering. Yes, and give to Khnum, the Lord of Nile, forever, so that its altar should never be bare. So the temple on top of it, the altar should always have offerings, have good things. Then once more the Nile watered the land, and the fields were yellow with ripe grain. Ooh, because of the big, huge, beautiful temple, the Lord of Nile. Now he was happy. He brought back the flood again. Yeah. But from that time on, no Pharaoh forgot that wealth of Egypt, the comfort of its people, and the glory of its king were the gifts. These are the gifts from the Lord of the Nile. Nile, the river, is the lifeline of Egypt. So that's the story. Yeah. So from then on, always the river Nile is respected, is prayed, is in the heart of the Egyptian people. And alabaster, I forgot exactly the alabaster's story. So 30 years ago, we went to alabaster. We went to Egypt, and you know, in Egypt there are a lot of merchants. And one day we were walking near the pyramid, and there was one guy always trying to sell us an alabaster. What do we call it? Alabaster. It's like beetles, a small souvenir, and I have never heard about that word. That was the first time. Buy it. This is the most precious thing, alabaster's beetles. You buy it, you will be blessed. So that's the first time I heard about the word alabaster. Yes. So that's a little bit of memory, a trip to the memory lane. And also, so another thing, I always say, it doesn't help to rush. No hurry, no rush. Not in a rush, right? I always say, not in a rush. Do it nicely, calmly. Do it correctly. Do not hurry, do not rush. That comes from my trip to Egypt 30 years ago. So we went to Egypt, and in the under the pyramid, there were a lot of donkeys. Yeah, there was one old man. He brought his donkey and said, "Oh, take my donkey. I will take you to the pyramid. I will take you to here and there." That was one of the traditional transportation way. So we hired. It's not very expensive. We hired one guide, and he had a donkey, and his name is Ahmed. I still remember his name. Why I remember it. And Ahmed, I think it's a very, maybe it's a common name. His name is Ahmed, and he guided us going here and there. And one thing that carved in my mind is he always says, "No hurry, no rush." Oh, no hurry, no rush. Let's go to the pyramid. No hurry, no rush. We can wait for 5 minutes, 5 Egyptian minutes. No hurry, no rush. Oh, so cute. Oh, such a nice person. Anyway, thank you very, very much. I love you. I really do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Goodbye. Yeah, bye, 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 bye.